So, a couple days ago, Embark released the roadmap for Escalation here. And a thing that everybody's been talking about, oh, hey Steam, thanks, but I don't need you right now. A thing that everyone's been talking about is that there's going to be a new map, but in April. I don't exactly think that's the best way to go about things. I mean, a lot of people are reactionary. It's the internet. That's what we do here. However, the game came out in like October, November, and we're just getting a new map in April. I mean, I'm kind of getting a little... not tired, but I'm going through the motions at this point when playing the maps that we already have. And it's fine. Like, there's always a new kind of rhythm to a game, a new way that it can kind of play out. But for a map to come out in April is a little too long to wait. But let's go into a little more detail on what this actually means. Alright, so since January is basically done with, this will be a quick one. So if you were level 40 or higher, you were put into a different matchmaking pool, means that you cannot farm the newer players, which was definitely noticed by me because I wasn't getting absolutely cooked the same way I was when I first started playing the game. So this is really good for newer players or solo ones who don't want to deal with people who have absolutely no life and know every mechanic by heart. There's also a minor map condition with like fog on certain maps. I really didn't even acknowledge that this was a new map condition. I just thought that there was fog all the time, but the more you know, I guess. All right, now in February, this is where things go down. So with Shrouded Sky, the wind condition looks like it'll affect movement, visibility, and sound, which can completely change how fights play out. This could be really tough for flying arcs, since controlling movement and hitting shots is going to be harder if everything's constantly shifting. There's also a new flying arc coming. Flying arcs are always a fun experience because they tend to swarm you, so I'm curious to see what this new one brings. Is it going to be even harder to take down? You know what? I'd just love to see like an Empire State-sized arc. That would be so much fun. Just why not? Just throw that in there. And on top of that, there's another community event probably built around the weather system. So they're going to Embark is likely going to push people into going into parts of the map where the weather system really kicks into gear just to test those things. So I like when devs do that. They're not making it blatantly obvious, but you know, they're allowing you to test things for them in an engaging way. And then there's a new map update. It's not a new map per se. It's just changes to loot, POIs, or spawns. These things can actually affect the game more than you think. If you remember earlier on last year, before they changed the locations of the security breaches, people were like milking those security breaches and making loot runs to them. Well, ever since then, they couldn't. And there are also other things like little glitch spots that can allow you to get into parts of the map that you shouldn't. Not going into the walls, but like on Dam Battlegrounds, I know that if you drop from the top of the tower and onto that ledge, you could like glitch your way into that locked room. But yeah, things like that can really change how the game plays out. And then there's a new expedition window. It's time limited, so this is best for squads and people who like PvP a lot. So if you're the type to bum rush a lot, then you're gonna love this. Now, if you guys are enjoying this video so far and want more videos like this, as well as guides and tutorials, then consider liking and subscribing to the channel, because there's more where that came from. Then in March, we have Flashpoint, and no, I'm pretty sure there's not gonna be any Justice League costumes here, but there's basically gonna be a new map condition with lightning, so I imagine it's gonna be pretty similar to the electromagnetic storms, but it would be pretty neat if like it affected you when you were inside as well, in the sense that like, if you were looting something that has electricity, like a breaker box, it might zap you or something like that. So it could add another level of, awareness. And there's also another arc, but based on the icon, it looks pretty similar to February's arc. So I'm thinking this is going to be like a variation rather than something new. And that kind of tells me that Embark might be just adding variants to whatever arcs they already have. So the arcs could be adapting to player behavior. So I think that would be pretty neat. And there's going to be another community event. So based on the icon, which is a satellite, I think it's just going to be forcing people into objectives that cause you to like interact with the rest of the map or go to exposed areas outside of like the central parts. So I think this could be pretty cool. And then there's going to be a Scrappy update. So basically, it seems like Embark wants to give people some quality of life or extra utility with Scrappy as the difficulty kind of ramps up. So I appreciate that. Rather than just making things harder, I don't mind making my life a little easier. And so March feels like it's going to be a very interesting month because it's a lot more intense than even February. So I think that this could be a kind of a make or break month for Arc, depending on how hard it really is. And then in April, we have the Avengers Endgame portion of this roadmap, and I'll talk about why in a moment. So based on the icon and the name of this new map, it's probably going to be like coastal or shoreline. So similar to Buried City, but a lot closer to the water. And that's probably going to mean more open spaces, longer sight lines, not a lot of places to take cover, which is going to be really cool. And then the endgame portion, a new arc being introduced, a large arc. This one's going to be a big boy, and I think it's going to be similar to what we see on Bluegate with the big arc in the distance. I have no idea how we're going to fight that thing, but I'm game for everything. I'm pretty sure people are just going to climb on top of it and start hacking at it with whatever they've got, so should be interesting. Anything to stop them from killing me. And you're probably going to get third-partied here, so yeah, don't be surprised. And then we have another map condition. I don't know what it is about Thunder or Embark in Thunder, but it has the icon has a thunder cloud, so I'm not sure how much you can really do with thunder. Is Thor going to show up? If there's Thor in this game and Thomas Wayne, or not Thomas Wayne, he couldn't stand a chance. Whatever. If we have the Avengers or Justice League versus Thor, I don't know how I'd feel. Anyways, I'm just talking rubbish here. So we'll see how this works out. And then there's the expedition window. This is where it opens again. So it's going to be limited with the new map. And so I think they're going to tie that in with the whole boss fight. So April is going to be big. I really look forward to it, especially when the weather gets nicer and we can go out onto the beach and get third-partied, or I don't know, spawn sniped. Not even spawn sniped. What is it called? Extract killed. So that would be very fun. And that's pretty much everything I know for sure right now. Everything from January through April is fully laid out on the roadmap, but anything beyond that isn't really clear yet. Embark does mention that more things are coming, like new quests, features, trials, events, new items you can pick up, cosmetics, and general quality of life things. The most important thing to remember is that none of these are tied to specific months or explained in detail yet, so we'll probably learn more once patch notes start dropping. If you want to stay up to date on that and on Ark and the other games I cover on this channel, make sure to like and subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, let me know in the comments what you're looking most forward to. Until next time though, take care.